Our protagonist was in the middle of a river, on top of a rock, with Siddh. The two of them are secretly the incarnations of the divine, masculine and feminine, Shiva Shakti. But Shakti, our protagonist Uma, has not actually figured out who she is yet. They were just finishing a teaching, or perhaps... No, yeah, that's right. They were just finishing a teaching, and I'll continue from there. He stood. I attempted to do the same, but could not budge. He bent down, lifted me up, executed that graceful leap to the bank, and set me down on the sand. I straightened my robe, slipped into my sandals, and slung my backpack over a shoulder. We headed toward the ashram from where the chanting of the evening prayers had begun. "Where are you off to?" I asked. "To Gangotri, the source of the Ganga, and beyond," he said. "Beyond?" I asked. "Mount Kailasa," he replied. The destination of the monks. Their goal was to circumambulate the sacred mountain, a distance of 34 miles, and perform full body prostrations every 5 steps. "So, are you going to walk around the mountain performing full body prostrations, or are you climbing it?" "No one climbs Mount Kailas," he said. "I'd like to go with you," I said, suddenly, impulsively. "To China?" he asked. "China?" I asked in return, confused. "It's where Mount Kailas is," he answered. "Well, I can't go," I said, thankful at being able to take back my words. "I'll need a visa, impossible to get one at such short notice." At the dining hall, we were served the now familiar and dismal meal of chapatis, lentil soup, and 2 nondescript vegetable curries. A busload of chattering, loud women joined us. The sign, "Silence is golden," meant nothing to them. They were like children let out of school, and Sid and I did not speak. After the meal, we strolled back to my room. "I'm leaving on the early flight tomorrow," I said. "Have a good trip," he said. The oppressive heat and humidity, the ineffectual fan, the ineffectual mosquito netting that did nothing to prevent mosquitoes as large as cockroaches from swarming ecstatically around me, and most crucially, my own utter disappointment in Sid made me restless and angry. His beauty, his erudition, his clever way of controlling me, and possibly others, made him one of those all-too-common charismatic gurus. The time he'd spent with me, when I'd taken all that he said to heart, believing in him completely, believing that he had some affection for me, had served only to draw me in. Did he see me as prey? I had come desperately seeking his help, but he had been drunk, high, and without the slightest idea of who I was. How could I have been so taken in? 4 a.m, there was a knock on my door. "Yes?" I peered through a crack. Sid was holding a mug of tea. I made no move to let him in. "I've decided to make a short detour to a freshwater lake," he said, "where Lord Ganesha was born. An easy trek to around 10,500 feet. Will take a few days. Want to come?" My heart and head each clamored for control. "I don't have climbing gear," I said. He handed me the tea. "You can get what you need on the way. We're leaving in an hour." Well, that's a short notice. As the sun rose, we embarked on the first leg of our journey to Uttar Kashi, the Varanasi of the north, where the great Lord Shiva himself was reputed to have made an appearance. I was wedged into a corner of a minibus taken up by the ladies from dinner the previous night, who were on their way to Gangotri. Siddh sat in front with the driver. My monk's robe and expert fingering of my Rudraksha beads gave me, if not room, at least respect. The ladies assumed I was a lady monk in prayer mode and left me alone. They shouted comments and observations at each other as if we were all deaf. There was loud laughter, and I was sure they were exchanging bawdy jokes. Housewives on holiday. When they made a hesitant offer of tri-colored sweets to Siddh and the driver, Siddh turned and flashed them a brilliant smile, all convulsed into giggles. Witticisms were exchanged, again eliciting much laughter. Finally, as we rose in elevation and the forests became greener, thicker, and more ominous, the women broke into sad, prayerful singing. At times the forest parted to glimpses of silvery hues of the Ganga below as it surged through galleys and gorges. I was free. I realized I need not have panicked, run away. I was free. I could not be connected to the unaliving, so to speak, of the murderous village headman, his brothers or his sons. I had a healthy bank account since the funds reserved to pay off the village headman in exchange for the girls had not been expended. I had a well-paying and interesting job, and in 2 years, after the clinic, school, and church were built, I would not need to work. My obligations would be fulfilled, leaving me with no attachments, no loyalties, no responsibilities, no Mother Gabriel, no Gerhard, no Siddh. This excursion to a lake at a high elevation and nestled mountains was a welcome diversion that would give me space for contemplation before my return and reinforce my purpose, my release, my liberation. Why don't we pause our reading of Moksha, liberation, there for now, as our dear protagonist is on a quest up into the Himalayas with the divine masculine himself, Lord Shiva, secretly incarnated as Siddh. Well, I look forward to reading this adventure with you as it unfolds next time.